Islam Makhachev's team shuts down Ilia Topuria fight completely. Islam's manager Ali Abdelaziz just dropped clarity on the next big fights in the UFC. He says Makhachev's next opponent will be a real welterweight, signaling a matchup in his division, not a super fight against Topuria. Ali, who is also Justin Gaethje's manager, confirmed that Justin is set to fight for the undisputed lightweight title, no matter if it's going to be against El Matador or someone else in the division. Abdelaziz doubled down that if Ilia decides to leave the lightweight division, Justin will face whoever is next in line for the belt, most likely Arman Tsarukyan. This essentially sets the stage for the next wave of title fights in both the lightweight and welterweight divisions. Reinier De Ridder promises a huge comeback against Caio Borralho on March 7th. In a recent Dutch interview, RDR admitted that his previous disappointing performance wasn't about skill. It was about the pace he set for himself. Fighting 5 times in just 11 months with 5 brutal weight cuts for a huge guy like him drained his body and affected his performance. He explained that training twice a day, cutting weight repeatedly, and constantly preparing for fights took a toll, leaving him exhausted and underperforming. Now, with a more measured approach, RDR is focused on redemption. This fight against Borralho is his chance to prove that when he manages his schedule and body properly, he's the dominant force fans know he can be. Expect a sharper, stronger De Ridder, determined to prove he's not the same fighter who burned out in 2025. He insists March 7th could be the night he reminds everyone why he's one of MMA's most feared big men.
Ja, 100%. Want ik voel me eigenlijk nu al beter dan dat ik me zelfs in het kamp voor Whittaker voelde. Want zelfs toen waren al had al moeite om sommige trainingssessies door te komen, had ik al moeite om te herstellen. En ja, dat is nu gewoon echt heel anders.
Is dat ook de les die je geleerd hebt? Meer beter naar je lichaam luisteren? Of
ja, je kan gewoon niet 5 keer op een dag, 5 keer in 11 maanden knokken, 5 weight cuts. Jezelf 2 keer op een dag helemaal de pleurs in trainen. Dat gaat gewoon niet. En dat wist ik eigenlijk wel, maar dat wilde ik toch wel heel graag.
Huge update on Tom Aspinall's UFC situation. Pete Carroll, a reporter close to Aspinall's camp, appeared on the Ariel Helwani show and gave the latest on the heavyweight champ's status. According to Carroll, the UFC hasn't reached out at all regarding Aspinall's situation, and Tom isn't looking to create any friction with the promotion. His focus has shifted entirely to his health, as his eye condition has deteriorated to the point where returning to normal life is now his main concern. Nearly 4 months later, Aspinall still can't track moving objects properly, suffers eye pain from simple tasks like texting, experiences vertigo with sudden movements, and struggles with basic coordination, including shaking hands. Training drills are a challenge. He sometimes even has trouble playing with his kids, and he can't drive himself, relying entirely on others for transportation. Even though he might not have to vacate the heavyweight belt, an interim title fight is all but certain, since Tom won't be able to train for the next few months, and the UFC still needs a championship fight in the division. We'll talk about the interim belt in a minute. For now, let's dive into Pete's report.
I need to make sure that this hasn't happened. I felt very ridiculous doing it, but I was like, for the sake of this article, I probably should. And they were like, no, we haven't heard from the UFC at all. I've been in touch with the team ever since this. And it got kind of awkward, you know, when you're asking for updates or progress checks and there isn't any. And you're like, you're seeing these comments and you're like, every time this dude puts something out there to these people, and they're saying, this is bullshit, you aren't doing this. I think they kind of dictated what the article would be about. You know, I think it's because the UFC thing isn't really the issue right now. That's not the game he's playing right now. It's like everyday stuff. I don't think they were interested in having any tit for tat with the UFC again. As is abundantly clear throughout. This is very much about, like, what's this guy's life like now? You know, like, this guy's life is very different than what it once was.
Big UFC news just dropped from the MacLife reporter Oscar Willis on Luke Thomas's YouTube show. He revealed the promotion's plan for the heavyweight division amid Tom Aspinall's ongoing issues. According to him, the UFC is targeting Alex Pereira versus Ciryl Gane for the interim belt, but the fight won't headline the White House event. Instead, it's being lined up as the main event for UFC Miami, scheduled just before the White House card. This move makes sense given Aspinall's situation. Even if he doesn't vacate the belt, he won't be able to train for the next few months, leaving the UFC without an active heavyweight title fight. Creating an interim championship keeps the division moving and ensures a marquee main event. Timing also works perfectly for Pereira, who has been teasing a potential heavyweight move for some time. This setup gives him a chance to step up while the division waits on Tom's recovery, making the interim fight an exciting pivot point for the heavyweight landscape. Luke Thomas and Oscar also discussed what this means in terms of Jon Jones's potential comeback. Let's dive dive in.
My God, dude, if Aspinall's not there and they're doing Gane versus Pereira, are you hearing that could be a White House fight?
No, I heard that could be sooner. I think I did maybe Miami. I haven't heard like the main event that kind of keeps moving around. So
if they make that fight, Ciryl Gane will have fought like the best heavyweights of this era: Ngannou, John Jones, Aspinall, and Alex Pereira. That would be fucking wild.
For me, the main thing is if they did that Pereira, that basically means John's gone, right? If they're doing Pereira for a heavyweight title fight, I don't
look at me. John is gone. He's gone.
And you love it. You're so happy that he's gone.
It's not even that. It's just like, dude, the guy he's the best light heavyweight I've ever seen by a million miles. I was there for basically the entire run. But he is a manipulator. He is a bullshitter. He is attention starved.
Gable Steveson just revealed that he will call for a UFC shot if he wins this next fight, setting the stage for what could be one of the fastest rises in MMA history. And everyone in the MMA world is watching closely. The Olympic freestyle wrestling champ is set to face veteran Hugo Lozama in the heavyweight division at Mexico Fight League 3, only his third professional MMA bout. Even with so little MMA experience, the expectations on him are massive, especially from American fans who see him as the guy who could breathe new life into the UFC heavyweight division. Right now, the heavyweight ranks are missing elite wrestlers, and Steveson's style could give him a huge advantage. His Olympic credentials, combined with the skills he's been sharpening in MMA, make him one of the most exciting prospects in combat sports. A strong showing against Lozama could fast-track him straight to the UFC, and if he hits the ground running, he could be facing top-level competition almost immediately. This fight isn't just another bout, it's a chance for Steveson to prove he's ready to shake up a division desperate for fresh talent. If he delivers, 2026 could be the year the heavyweight landscape completely changes.
You take out the next opponent and maybe the next big thing will come. And if it's not the White House, something big always comes. It always happens.
Will you call for it? You go out there and get a knockout on Thursday? Will you call specifically for like, hey, I'm ready to get me on there?
Yeah, most definitely I'll call for it. I'll call for it. I think it's rightfully so. Especially if it's a big knockout that happens next Thursday. You know, it'd be my fourth one. My third in MMA, one in dirty boxing. So that's how it would be. But you know, just like we talked about, if the cards fall that way, they fall that way. If they don't, they don't.
That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.